Hello, this is Gail with Beaded Jewelry Diva, and today we are talking about bead soup. Now, if you've been beading any length of time, you probably have a ton of bead soup, but if you're brand new to beading and you don't have any bead soup, or if you don't have any bead soup of a specific color palette that you want to use, today's video may interest you because I'm going to talk to you about making bead soup when you don't have bead soup or you don't have bead soup of a particular color palette. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But let's now talk about making bead soup. Okay, when it comes to making bead soup, really kind of anything goes, but what I like to do is typically I like to use the tail ends of some beads. For example, I just have this little tiny bit and it's like, what can I do with this? Well, this is a perfect candidate for bead soup. I don't have a pink bead soup, so I decided that since I'm going to make one, I may as well show you how I do it when I make bead soup. So I've got a palette. I've decided upon kind of like a peachy, pinky kind of colors. So what I did is I went ahead and grabbed a whole bunch of beads. I have some golds in here. I have some iris kind of beads. I have, let's see, I have some that are matte because you don't want to have just shinies or just one kind. You want to have some sort of contrast. I have something like this. It's an iris, it's matte, and it's not exactly a peachy pink, but it's going to add a little bit of dimension to it. So I've got bright pinks, bright yellows. Let's see what I go ahead and do. So I've dumped out my first set of beads, and by the way, keep these tubes because you never know when they're going to become useful. So I've got these are size 8s. Then I'm going to take a little bit of these orangish, salmon, bright yellow, I don't know what color, and I'm just going to pour out some. Now this is going to be one of my accent colors, so I don't want to put a whole bunch of these out right in the very beginning. The yellows are going to tone down all the pinks, if that makes any sense. So I've got this, then I'm just going to randomly grab some beads and put them out. And I start off with just a little bit of the colors at first. I try to decide exactly how much I want. Do I want this to be a real peachy? Do I want it to be more pinky? What is it? Now, and I will say that my bead soups usually kind of evolve on themselves. So this is what I've got so far. I've got this kind of look. It's far more yellow than it is pink at the moment. So what I'm going to do is this is kind of still of a yellowy color, but I'm going to throw some in. And these light colors act as a lightener, again, to give it some more dimension. Well, I don't really have much in the way of size 8s. So let's go ahead and put in some size 8s. Now these are the darker beads. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix these up again to see what kind of colors I've got going. I'm going to take these, and these are some matte beads. I think these are size 11s. I'm going to dump them on. They're kind of a peachy color. As you can see, I've got beads all over the place, but you know, that's half the fun of this. So mix them together. Okay, so far I have kind of a peachy pinky, but I think I want a little bit more in the way of pink. So I've got some bright pinks, and I just dump a few in there. And I've got some pinks that are like hot electric pink, magentas. So I'm going to drop a few of those in. So now I've got more of a pinkish look. So before it was kind of more of a yellowy. So now I've got kind of a pinky tone to it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add to this by dropping in some of those irises. And let's see how I like that. So again, mix it up. And that adds a little bit of depth because you've got some of the darker beads in there. Now what? Okay, I'm going to take these beads, and I've had these like a gazillion years since I started beading, and these are about the smallest size 15s I've ever used. Throw those in. I think I see some more golds that I want to throw in. So you get the idea. I am just dumping all kinds of different colors in. Alright, and you probably want to see what the heck this ends up looking like. So again, this is going to end up giving us some dimension. And one thing that you also want to keep in mind is that you don't want just shinies, just mattes, just metallics, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but you really want to have a good mix. Now, I'm not quite happy with this yet, so let me go ahead and play with this some, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what I kind of did to change this. So I'll take a photograph of this the way it looks right now, and then we'll go ahead and see what it looks like when we come back. And this is what I ended up with. So you can see it's a bit different from what I had before. What did I do different? Now, I added some purples in here. Now, even though purple is not exactly a peachy pink, the purple adds a bit more dimension to it. I found some seashells. These are like a beaded seashell thing that I've had for forever. Thought I'd go ahead and throw those in there along with these particular shell beads because they kind of fit in the same color palette and they're larger. I also have some fire polished. These are kind of metallic coated. They're bright pink. I added some, let me see, I had some glass round beads. I added some, let's see, I think I have some amethyst colored fire polish beads. So you get the idea. I even have some of the darker size 4 millimeters, and of course I have some pearls as well. So you get the idea. Bead soup is whatever you choose to make of it. Now remember I said keep these. Sometimes when I have a bead soup, and usually it's when I have just like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, maybe 5 or 6 of them, I'll go ahead and do this. I will take it and I will scoop it into these. Told you that they came in useful. So now when I have something that I really want to be eclectic with, I have a whole tube of something that's really, really different. Now in my case, I made a bit more, so I'm going to throw it in this bag. But now you know how to make bead soup when you don't have bead soup, or you don't have bead soup of a particular color palette that you want to use. Uses for bead soup? Well, for example, this bracelet that I made. I have a video on how to make this, and this was made with bead soup. I also have some other videos where I use bead soup. So it's useful. I can't get that on. Anyway, so bead soup is useful for a variety of different things. And, you know, most bead soup is made because you have a little bit of this or a little bit of that left over. Just dump it into a container. For example, let's see what I can find for containers. Here's a bead soup that I have had for many years, and this is more of a purple bead soup. But as you can see, I have some blues, and I have some pearls, and I have, you know, a various kind of color combinations. And I just drop them in this, and this is how my bead soup evolves. So I just drop them in containers, and then when I need to have some sort of, you know, freeform work, I just grab one of my bead soup containers. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come see me over at beadedjewelrydiva.com, and this is Gail signing out, saying have yourself a great day. Bye! Oh, almost forgot. Here's something also. Remember I said I was going to go ahead and put these in this container, and it gets awful, you know, pinching it and everything like that. Do this. Grab the tube and then drop it in. grab the tube, drop it in. Now I could have used a traditional bead scoop, but to be real honest, this is another use for our wonderful empty containers, is to use it as a bead scoop. All right, well, anyway, this is it for today, so have yourself a great day. Bye.